Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show. Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens. Hi everybody, I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hi Ben.
Hi Ronnie, how are you?
Good. I'm so excited to be here. It's Monday, everybody. Love Mondays over here at Watch What Crappens. It's Real Housewives of New Jersey Day, so we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And we're going to end this recap with a catch-up of Summer House Malsa's Vignette. What are you mad at me for? It's only a flamingo.
It was a flamingo.
Then tonight is Crappy Hour. That is our live Instagram live on Instagram live show every other Monday, talking Bravo gossip. Got a lot of stuff there coming up. So if you want to talk to us, that's at 5:30 Pacific time over on Instagram Live. You can also find that on YouTube under Watch What Crappens, which is our name, and get bonus episodes and video recaps at our Patreon, watchwhatcrappens.com/Patreon. Also, going to Europe this week. We're so excited.
I can't.
Week, okay?
Surreal.
You know, this is the last week that we're Americans because we are leaving after this, okay?
Also, the fact that it's not just that we're going to Europe, it's that like in like 4 days we're going to be in Scandinavia. I don't know, that's so amusing to me. Like Ben and Ronnie in Scandinavia. We're going to be in Sweden because before we get to London, we're going to Sweden to see Taylor Swift, of course. And our links finally came through, so we actually have tickets. I'm so excited.
Well, that's good. So that'll be super exciting. And you know what's a good thing about being ignorant like me? And listen, I love myself. I'm not being a self-hater, but I was a dummy when I was a kid and just did not pay attention to certain classes. I was one of those kids who's like, I don't need math. Why would I pay attention to math? And now I'm like, why do I owe more taxes? I just don't understand because I never learned math, okay? And another thing I never learned was geography, okay? And so you know how in planes now, on the little TV in front of you, they'll show where your plane is going and everything you're flying over. I don't know where anything is, and I'm trying to memorize it on the plane, and that's America. I don't know where shit is in America. Can you imagine how it's going to be outside of America? I have no idea what I'm about to do. I feel like an alien coming to this planet.
We're going to give you we're going to give you like the little flag that they have on how old, or like old enough, I should say, with the little children, like do like errands, like fetch milk from the grocery. They're like 2 years old and they're like walking down the streets in Japan, and they have like a little flag and like a little sash that says like I'm on my first errand or something. It'll be like you, and you'll have like a little cap. It'll be like my first trip. But to be fair, it is daunting. Like, I mean, I'm acting like I'm some wizened European traveler. I've been to Europe, I think, 3 times over the past 15 years. And it's scary. Like, I'm taking Finnish Airlines to get to Sweden. I have to have a layover in Helsinki. And I'm like, what is it like taking, it's called Finnair. Like, I'm going to be but it's going to be Finland themed. I mean, is all the food going to be Finnish? They can speak English on the airplane. Like, what am I going to do? I'm going to be on that thing for so long. I don't know what this experience is going to be like.
I get it. I hear Finnish and I immediately start feeling pressure. Like I'm naked and my fupa's out and someone's going, Finish! And the whole thing is stressful to me. I'm not really sure how I'm going to deal with it, but I'm very excited. And then I went to LA this weekend to look at places to move because I want to go back to LA part-time, which was my original plan. So there's just so many things up in the air. There's so many changes. And guess what? I'm not a very change-oriented person these days. I've grown very set in my ways. And so I'm a little scared, but also very excited, okay? So you know what, everybody? That's my personal update.
That's
great. Ask for it, but there you go. There it is.
Speaking of foreign countries, let's talk about New Jersey, shall we?
Yeah,
Today
speaking of people who never learn anything, let's talk about the cast of Real Housewives of New Jersey.
That's going to be happening today. Oh, but before that, so tonight, everyone, you mentioned Crappy Hour, didn't you?
Yes.
You did all that.
Let's move forward into the future. Come on, Ben.
So, Real Housewives of New Jersey, it's episode 2 of this season. I'm still really enjoying it. I don't know why I'm adding still. I don't know why I should say still as if it's going to expire. I have to say, I'm enjoying it so far. I am enjoying this season. This week, we got our taglines. And what's funny about the Real Housewives of New Jersey taglines, and I don't know, I can't say authoritatively which other franchises do this, but definitely with New Jersey, they always punctuate their taglines with little sound bites, like a random thing, like like when there was the one with Teresa where it was like something about pineapples. She goes, "I'm so sweet," or whatever it was. They always put those things in. So we got not only the taglines, but we got the sound bites that will accompany them for this season.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, like, a lot of them were just like squeals and noises, but like there were definitely like two that stood out to me.
Yeah,
The first
which
one,
ones?
the first one being Dolores, where she says, "I'm a girl from Patterson," and then she just goes, "Hello."
That's they're like, how do we illustrate Patterson? What says Patterson? We really need to make that line sing. Salami. No, I don't like that one. Let's cut the salami out. Bread animals. No, something more Patterson. Kick your motherfucking ass. You look at me twice. No. We don't want to go there in the opening. Hello, Patterson. That's so Patterson.
That's Patterson. That is the hello of a woman who has moved in with her boyfriend Paulie.
That is not a Newark hello.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what
that
is.
is a Patterson hello.
That is a Patterson hello.
The other one was Jennifer Aiden. But you know what? Why don't we just go through these taglines and we'll do the Jennifer Aiden noise when we get to Jennifer Aiden.
What was Melissa's tagline last year? Do we remember what it is? I'm only asking because I need evidence that Melissa Gorga tagline. What season is this, Ben? This is season
14.
Season 13. This is just to illustrate that Melissa Gorga has like literally the dumbest taglines of anybody, of any franchise. I'm not saying something, but let's see. Melissa Gorga, season 13. Melissa, this last year hers was, "You'll never see how toxic someone is until you breathe fresher air," which I think is funny because it's like just dissing the bad air
Yeah.
in her house and in New Jersey. This one is, "It's hard not to burn bridges when you're on fire."
So I guess that fresh air is sort of gone. Guess it's now smoky. This Gorga's on fire.
Oh gosh. And then you had Dolores, and then
Well, the full Dolores line is, "I'm a girl from Patterson. Hello." Playing Switzerland, dating an Irishman. Goodbye.
Did she really say goodbye at the end?
No, I just added that to create like an
Sorry,
arc.
I don't understand sarcasm. As a sarcastic person, I'd never really get
It
it.
wasn't really sarcastic. It was just me revising. Yeah.
So then as Danielle, "I'm bougie, I'm bothered, and above your drama."
You know, okay. By the way, okay, I have to say, I actually like Melissa's. It's hard not to burn bridges when you're on fire. That's okay. I think that's okay. Dolores, "I'm a girl from Patterson, playing Switzerland, dating an Irishman." I see what they're going for there. I don't know. To me, it's not quite as good as, what was it? A Jew and a Chinese man walk into a bar, and they had me, which was Jules Weinstein.
Yeah, that was Jules.
As long as we're talking about like, ethnicity or geography. But Danielle's is a little generic for me. "I'm bougie, unbothered, and above your drama." Like there's no wordplay and there's no rhyming. It's just her listing things.
Well, it's also untrue because she ends the season, I believe, getting either fired or demoted, or something happens where her
Really?
and Jen Aiden get in a fight. And I think
Right.
that she either throws a drink or she throws a glass at someone's head, or someone throws a glass. Listen, I'm not accusing
There's a
crazy
fight.
Jersey fans. Okay, don't go after. I'm just saying there's like a violent fight that they both get in a lot of trouble for. So this whole like, "I'm so unbothered, I'm above your drama." Like, no, you're not. So then Marge is like, but you're taking cheap shots. I'm taking screenshots," which is another Marge just dropping confessions in her thing. And then she's going to spend the whole season being like, "What do you mean? I have evidence on people. I don't take evidence on people."
I know.
Remember last year, her thing was like, "I may not be a detective, but I'm following you," or something. And then she was like, "What are you talking about? I don't collect evidence on people."
I don't have a vault.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's
have a
no
vault.
vault. There's nothing in the vault. The only
Yeah.
thing that's in the vault is that Laura is short, stumpy, and a court reporter who never made it on reality TV, and that's it. Congratulations.
"You may be a short court reporter, but I'm not short." Who says I called Laura short? What are you talking about? Like, she just confesses and then denies whatever she confessed in her tagline the rest of the season.
Rachel Fuda's is so Rachel Fuda. It's like, if you don't have my back, at least have backbone. I can just see her just like saying that with wide eyes to the camera. Like, seriously, get a backbone. Like, don't you understand what I just said there? Because I said back and then backbone. It's wordplay.
She just has this way of like looking at people and just blinking, like wide-eyed, just very annoyed. Like, if you don't have my back, at least have my backbone. She has that way of blinking like she's been in line for 2 hours and she's just trying not to yell at you. Like, you just got here. This is your second season. I don't know why the Fudas are acting like they're 20-year vets who have been putting up with this nonsense forever. You are new. You are lucky to be here. I don't know why you guys are acting like. They're both like, can you believe it? We are not going to make a scene. And then John Fuda spends the whole time going, you know what? If I have to make a scene, I'm not going to make a scene, but I'm not going to make a scene. I don't want to talk about it. You know what I want to do? Not talk about it. I'll tell you that much. Okay, let's get Fuda in here. Hey, everybody. Hey. It's John Fuda. Don't want to talk about it. Okay? Drug addict, me, dildos in my ass. I don't want to talk about it. What are we going to talk about? The dildos in my ass? I'm not going to talk about it. Okay? That's what I don't want to do. Sir, would you like to order something? Not a dildo in my ass. I don't want to fucking talk about it. I'll tell you that right now. Fucking talk about it.
Drug deal in my ass. Yeah, he is very much more involved. Last season, he just sort of sat back, like, yeah, what you gonna do? But now he's all feisty.
This is why everybody shouldn't be thin. It brings a certain confidence that not everybody's ready for. Like, not everybody needs to hear about your dildos in your ass and your drug dealing over and over again. And you're not a housewife. Calm yourself, sir.
With great hunger comes great responsibility. That's what they say. So then we have Jennifer Aiden who goes, friends are like handbags. Bingo! She just yells bingo in the middle of her line.
Friends are like handbags.
Bingo, baby. It's a bingo, baby. The bingo branded handbag, baby.
I like how flowery she gets her, like, because she goes, friends are like handbags.
Bingo. The fake ones are all too easy to spot.
They're all too easy. Aren't you the lady who had your entire house of furniture made as like knockoffs from China? What are you talking about? Fake handbags? Get out of here.
Haven't we ever heard of a tagline like this? Isn't that Kyle Richards? Didn't Kyle Richards say, like, in this town full of luxury, I can always spot a fake, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think it's, yeah, that sounds about right. Especially the in this town thing.
Well, I mean, I think I added that part.
In Beverly Hills, but I'm from Beverly Hills in this town, and this town is from Beverly Hills and me. I've been to this town, but I've never been to me in this town, even though I'm from this town.
Spot a fake. I'm sure there's a tagline in here somewhere. I don't know. Either way, I'm just living for the Jennifer Aiden one, mainly because she goes, bingo, in the middle of it. Oh, here it is. It is, I'm an expert on luxury and I can always spot a fake. I think that was Kyle Richards. Yeah. So good to know that I'm keeping all this bullshit in my brain. Oh. And Magali, the one and only Magali from Real Housewives of Cheshire, her line was, when you are a real diamond, you can spot a fake a mile off. Oh, actually, that was season 2, because her season 1 tagline was this. Ronnie, you remember this. Ronnie, you remember this tagline from Magali. When you cross me, you better don't cross me. Don't mess with Magali. One of my favorite taglines I had completely forgotten about. All. So Reddit sent me down the wrong path and I take it all back. But it did make me remember Magali's original tagline, which was, when you cross me, you better don't cross me. Don't mess with Magali.
Don't mess with Magali. That's the best one of all time. I mean, there have been some really creative housewife taglines, but Magali's was the best.
When you
mess with me, you better not mess with me.
It's like here's concept number 1, and then the second concept, don't mess with Magali.
Don't mess with Magali. So the last tagline for Jersey is Teresa.
You could try to tear me down, but this tree just keeps on growing.
I've never heard someone prouder of being compared to a tree.
I know.
Than Teresa. Wow.
It's a good, but I have to say, I think that's a good line.
Well, it's Teresa's.
That was good
That's
wordplay.
I
always treat. Like,
I made flip the table, but I do the tree pose now.
So now we're gonna see everyone. So the night before was this party that Rachel Fuda had. I'm sorry, it was the surprise party for Jen Fessler that Rachel threw. So now it's the next day. We're seeing different kids doing different things around all of New Jersey. You know, dogs peeing in the corner, Joe Gorga changing dogs' diapers, things like that.
yeah. What is it on this channel? Does anybody raise their dog? The dogs just piss everywhere on this channel. I would put my dog down if it was peeing like that everywhere. Like, still, I mean, like when they're puppies, you get it, but you train them eventually. But I mean, I guess we should look at Joe. Joe Gorga was never trained. Why should we expect
Yeah.
the fucking puppy to? You know, he
I
probably
mean, look
pees
at-
in the corner too.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Exhibit A, Milo. I mean, need I say more?
I love
Need say
Milo.
more?
He's a star. But yeah, this dog, Melissa Gorga's dog, is annoying and pees everywhere. And they have a diaper on it. And he's like, yeah, chase him. Go get the dog. Like, what are you going to do? Go get the dog because he pees. And Melissa's like,
He won't let me catch him.
yeah, that's Chase. That's how Chase works.
He won't let me catch him. Such a passive way to approach, like such a passive worldview. I can't go after the dog because he won't let me pass him, catch
Yeah.
him.
So then we go to the Aidens.
Bingo.
At the house now, baby.
They're ordering school supplies. And my favorite, Olivia, my little eagle, is here. And I'm just happy. You know, I have a night with Olivia and Milo on my TV. My favorite Bravo stars of them. My favorite Bravo friend ofs. The
Yeah.
child Olivia, who's the eagle, and Milo, who's another kind of eagle. He's a little dog.
Who will someday probably be eaten by an eagle. Let's be honest. Yeah, so Olivia's like, I think this is the latest we've ever gotten our school supplies. Because they're ordering some like pencils or whatever for her to go back to school.
Yeah, and Jennifer's like,
Oh my God, Olivia, we didn't even get your backpack yet, Olivia. What are we gonna do?
and Olivia says, can we get my Vampire's Diary backpack so I can see my celebrity crush every day?
And then she looks at Gabby and she's like, why do you look at me like I'm some weirdo kid? And Gabby goes, because that's exactly what you are.
So then we go over to Danielle's house, and Valentina's getting new headshots. Okay, so let's have a family day. Here's our family: Danielle, Nate, Valentina, and Dominic. Okay, so they go to get photos taken, and Danielle's like,
Hey, look at this. We're getting photos. It's like a mystical vibe in here. It's mystical. It's all bougie. That's my brand. Bougie pictures. I want pictures, but I want them bougie.
Yeah, I feel like this is like it's a real indictment on New Jersey when you have to like go into like a sterile soundstage and to find something that feels mystical. Like, oh wow, this is now this is mystical in here. This is nice. This is what I'm talking about. So the lady's like, okay, whatever. Like, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Nicole. So they start figuring out their look and everything, and Danielle's like, so Valentina just signed with a professional talent agency because she's so smart. But well, the last time we did headshots, she was 2 years old. So we need some new ones. And it was totally my idea to get Valentina shot. So she's just like talking about how she's basically a stage mom right now.
yeah, it's like,
She's gonna be a star. She's gonna win an Oscar one day. I see it coming. Valentina.
and Valentina's like,
I'm hungry. I'm gonna sit down.
like, shut up, you're gonna be a star. You're gonna be a star or not. So Danielle's like, yeah, this is pretty much the chaos. It's gonna be New York Fashion Week. Just a heads up. We're going to New York Fashion Week. Dude, are they even trying over there anymore? New York Fashion Week? Are you fucking kidding me? What are you doing there?
Does
You're
it
going
just
there?
mean
Are
she's
you invited
going to?
there?
I was like, are you just going to New York while Fashion Week is happening, or are you part of New York Fashion Week? Because this does not make any sense. I cannot understand how Danielle Cabral's fashions could ever be in the same lineup as, you know, anything that Anna Wintour is sitting down to see.
Well, and that we're bringing it up. Remember when Kyle's Caftans? Wasn't it Kyle's Caftans that got to go to Fashion Week? Beverly Hills went. Or
yes,
was it Lisa
they
something
did.
or Sutton or somebody got
No,
Kyle's Caftans
Kyle.
in there? Or
But I wonder if it was like out of competition, you know? Like, you know how movies premiere at the Cannes Film Festival, but they're not really in the Cannes Film Festival. They just show them in Cannes at the same time, so it feels like they're at the
Yeah,
Cannes
like
Film
most
Festival.
Crappens does. Like
Yeah.
South by Southwest. We're like, guys, we're in South by Southwest. We're playing the parking garage on Rainy Street.
And we're not part of the official itinerary.
Yeah, that's our style. Which, hey, you know what? I can respect that. So it's kind of making me
Fake
like
it till you make
now.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Or fake it until you just don't make it. Just have fake it till you stake it. You know, if you
Fake
don't
it till you
make
take some
just find
photos.
another rhyme to make that to make everything that you're doing worth it. Fake it till you stake it. Go have a steak after. You know?
Yeah. So she's talking about how her brand is doing really well. And she's just like, I am beyond proud. Her thing that she does now is that she squishes her head all the way back into her neck and then looks up at the ceiling. She goes, I am beyond proud. Which, since this is an audio format as it is a podcast, you'll just have to imagine me doing that because that's what I just did. So she's like, I've just been so crazy with everything, with life and with business. I mean, I'm looking forward to celebrating you too, Nate, by the way, because you had your surgery. He's like, yeah, thanks. Thanks for remembering I had brain surgery 6 years ago. Glad we get to take photos of tutus right now.
Well, it's the episode where we're celebrating things and numbering them. It's like,
Nate, we're going to celebrate you right now because it's been 6 years. So we're going to have a 6-year brain party, which is totally normal.
everybody does it every 6 years. Every 6 years, something monumental happened. We celebrate because it's the total thing. 6 years, and then later we get like, you've been sober, or your dad's been sober for 8 years and 3 days. Let's have a party. They're just gonna count things and have parties for them.
We're gonna change up the rules. Like 5s and 10s, they don't matter anymore. It's all about 6s and 8s when it comes to anniversaries.
It's all evens now.
Yeah.
So Nate 6 years ago had brain surgery. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I want to invite everybody to the Nate celebration for brains.
It's like, honey,
6-year brains. 6-year brains by Nate.
like, honey, let's rethink that.
Gorgeous brains. Transcendent brains. What's this place? Mystical brains. Mystical 6-year brains.
Brain is, you know, when the neurosurgeon opened up his head, you know what they said? God, it's so mystical in here.
So mystical. It's dreamlike.
It's so mystical. Look, there's a light. Look, there's a fill light. It's so mystical. So I'm literally gonna hire Mystical to perform. So she talks about how things didn't go well at Jen Fessler's party, but like, this is gonna be a nice occasion. This is a celebration of life, of goodness, of brains, mystical brains. You know, you gotta put things in perspectives, okay, ladies?
Yeah. So then we find out about his brain surgery. I don't remember this. I'm sure we knew about it. It seems like a Housewives thing that would make you talk about in your first season.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I think Jersey was so traumatizing last year. I mean, we covered it extensively. We did it in a lot of our live shows, which means we extra covered it because like you take extra notes for those.
Yeah.
But it's so traumatizing to watch the show. Really, it is. And by the end, I think I just blacked a lot of it out to save myself. So now I'm like, did we know that Nate had surgery? I don't know.
Well, so I didn't remember that Nate had surgery, but I don't feel like I was traumatized. I just don't know if I look to Nate for like interesting content. I don't be like, oh, let's hear what Nate Cabral has to say. He just sort of shows up and smiles and is happy to be there, you know? So they're doing this photo shoot, and then Danielle's like, hey Nate, you gonna bring the kids to my dad's house to hang out? And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. She goes, that's good, that makes me happy. And then we find out, she says, well, my mom and I are doing great, but I stopped talking to my dad because he handled the gift situation with my brother in not the best way. And we then get a flashback to the reunion because for those who may remember, the big Danielle heads out there, Danielle is not talking to her brother because she was making jokes about him on social media, and he decided that he wanted to cut her out of his life, which is a story that we always felt like there was more to it than that. We still have yet to find the answers. So she had sent a gift when her brother had a baby. She sent a gift, and then the brother sent the big gift back. And she told us that at the reunion.
Yeah, which I thought was very nice, because if I hate somebody, I'm not sending a gift back. I'm keeping the gift. I would keep it and still not talk to them. Like, oh, I hate you. Here's a refund. Go get your money back. No, I hate you, and I'm going to send me more money and keep sending my kids birthday presents too. Stupid.
Yeah, it's also sending things back is so annoying in general with life.
So
Like
hard.
anytime you have to prepare a return, it's like, oh, it's just another thing to do, you know?
It's so hard. Like the Amazon, because I shop there like literally for everything. And so I return stuff a lot because that's how it is. And it's set up so easy. Get a little code on your phone, you scan it at the UPS, you drop it off, the end. And now they started doing all this extra stuff. Like sometimes they'll be like, you have to take it to Whole Foods now. And I'm like,
I know.
This is so hard.
Same.
And one time I had to return something through a FedEx. Oh my God.
Oh, no, don't even.
Girl, I put that company down on my blacklist. I was like, I will never order from this Etsy seller again. Never! FedEx, how dare you?
Oh,
it took
my
forever
goodness.
to do the process, and then it took forever to get back to the place, It's just,
I once had to do a return through Walgreens. And so they, of course, had no idea what they were doing. And they used my mailing address from the original box as like the return address. So the box just came right back to me. And then the company thought I didn't return it. So then they charged me. And it was so annoying. But I was just trying out different book bags for this European trip. And so I got 2 from Amazon. I was like, you know what? Neither of these are going to work. I'm going to return them both. One, I had to return at Whole Foods, one at the UPS store. They could not both be returned in the same place. It was so annoying. So the fact
So
that Danielle
annoying.
even got a return shows actually a little bit of effort.
yeah. So I say your brother is trying to show you that he still loves you, that he went through all of that to return something in this day and age. I mean, shit, just leave it at the curb. You know what I mean? But the fact that he went to return it and you got points back on your Amex, I would write a thank you card. That's someone who cares.
Yeah. Or it's someone who knows what your bullshit trick is and he's not going to let you hold that over him. And he's like, no, you'll have no power over me. Take back your gift bag of bougie kid accessories.
Because that is the thing on this show. Because remember, we were talking about Jen Aiden last week getting into a fight with one of the bloggers, like Melissa's old earlobe or whatever, Melissa's old nose. And they were fighting, and she's like,
But I bought a stroller for your special needs child, baby.
like
Yeah.
using that against her. So that's a weapon. When you buy someone's child a gift in New Jersey, you're going to hear about it whenever that person is pissed.
I mean, it's a classic housewives move in general. Remember when Lisa Vanderpump left Beverly Hills? What did Kyle Richards do? She brought a gift to the reunion to give to her, and just let it sit there on the side table to show how much Lisa Vanderpump was not there to receive it. So anyway, so Danielle now tells us what's going on with her and her father, and she goes,
I felt like in that moment, maybe for one moment, my father could just say, he's an idiot, and I'm sorry he's doing this to you. But he's never stood up for me. And it might be harsh on my part to just cut ties, but I need to start protecting myself. But he still sees my kids and talks to Nate, but that's a relationship I won't take away from him.
I'm like, okay, so let's just do a recap. Your brother suddenly stopped talking to you, and that hurt you so much that now one of the ways that you were dealing with it is that you decided to stop talking to your father. Got it. It really, okay, wonderful.
It's you. It's you.
You're the problem.
Okay, maybe you should listen to some Taylor, okay, as I have been in preparation for this concert.
Yeah.
And guess what? Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. It's you, ma'am. Okay? And let me tell you something else. I haven't known you for very long on this show, but I can tell you, you're a huge pain in the ass. You have a temper. You have drama. You were probably making jokes about that sister-in-law and being disrespectful to his wife. And your brother stood up for his wife. You got mad that he wasn't standing up for you instead of standing up for the wife. You acted like a fucking child and you cut off that relationship. And now you're cutting off your elderly father, who we've seen on this show as a completely lovely person. You're a spoiled little brat. You're going to be crying very soon once you lose your father. Get your shit together, lady. You're too old to be acting like this. Okay?
Whoa, that got
And
real
you're
dark real
bougie-
quickly.
But seriously, in your bougie company at Fashion Week, nobody wants to wear matching clothes with their children enough to make this a giant stock exchange company. So stop with that too. Okay, you're getting on
Yeah.
my nerves. Although
Yeah.
I do love how she does the Kim Zolciak with her extensions while she talks and she's nervous and she can't stop playing with her hair. And I like her voice. So
Yeah, her voice is fun. So anyway, the point is this woman who's complained about lack of communication in her family has decided to actively stop communicating with her father.
yeah, don't be a dick to your elderly parent. Okay.
Yeah,
You've seen your
I mean-
father. He's very nice. So
Yeah, exactly.
fix it.
Don't make your father take sides in a family argument, because it's probably more painful for him than it is for you. Let's be
And
honest.
also, and we see your dad crying every 5 minutes because remember, her dad's the crier who's like, "Oh, I just want you to be friends with your brother." It's like, that's dad. He cries. So don't make him cry more. I mean, come on, man. Get it
Yeah.
together over there. Shame on you. Shame on you.
So then we go over to Dolores' house, and she's sitting in the kitchen talking about real estate with Paulie. But first, the dog is acting up, so she goes, "Dog, be good. Hello,
Dog.
hello, be good, dog, be good."
Hello. Hey, dog. Don't fuck with me. I'm from Patterson. You don't believe me? Hello.
Hello. You're right. I did the wrong type of hello. It's not a hello question. I did question mark.
That was a
not
Newark.
exclamation.
That was a Newark hello that you. No, that was a Hoboken. That was a Hoboken hello.
Hoboken.
Hello.
It was almost tenafly. It was like a tenafly hello. Hello. Sabrina. Where's Sabrina? Hello. Is anyone here?
Where's Sabrina? So yeah, she's like, dog, cut the shit. And Polly's like, what's going on there? And she's like, just finishing up my CLE credits. I have a house to show this. Oh my God, fucking Dolores showing you. Could you imagine? All right, well, this house is a 2-bedroom, 4-bathroom. Does that make sense? Does anything really?
Do we have to go inside? I think you get the picture, right? You need bedrooms. You need kitchens. It's all in there. So you either buy it or you don't.
You know what? You like countertops? This house has got them. You want to put in an offer? I'm very busy. She'll show up 3 hours late to all the meetings. Wasn't that her thing in business where the guy who owned the gym would call her and be like,
Where are you? You're supposed to
Maz.
be here at the gym, Dolores.
and she'd be like, so I'm 3 hours late. Big deal. It's a gym. Where's it going to go? Like, gyms can't run. Okay. People run to the gym.
Why are you
Gyms
so angry,
don't run
Maz?
away from the people.
Yeah, gyms don't run. They don't go anywhere. I've got things to do. Frank wants to install pebble tile into a house I'm trying to sell. Have you ever tried to sell a house with pebble tile in it? You can't do it. Hello. So she's just like talking about real estate, and she goes, you know that I can never not work. You know that, Polly. Even though people who watch Bravo have seen me very rarely work. You know I can never not work. I always got to keep
She's always
busy.
talking about working.
She is
She's like
always
my mom.
talking.
My mom talks about working all the time. She hasn't had a job literally for 15 to 20 years. I don't really remember the exact number, but at least. And one time she told me, I said, I'm busy. She says, oh, who's not busy? I said, are you busy? Like, what's your job? And she goes, I've worked every day of my life. I was like, okay. Okay, then. I guess you can just say that, and that means like it's true. So bizarre.
That's how I feel about this podcast. When people are like, I'll be like, oh my God, you guys, I am so stressed. They're like, what'd you do? I'm like, I woke up at around 9:45 and then talked about like the Real Housewives for about 90 minutes. And it's just like, it's just so much.
It's a lot, guys. Yeah, but I feel like people who know aren't like that. Because if they're like, why are you tired? You just say, I've been recapping Real Housewives of New Jersey for 12 years. I'm like, oh, got it. Got it.
Yeah, once
Like
you put it
giving
in
you a
that
gold
context.
watch.
Yeah. So she's like, so you know what? I decided I'm gonna go back and get my real estate license and stuff, and you know how I love real estate. So I'm thinking like it's something for both of us to do together because you love real estate too, so you can help me look. You have an eye for it, Paul. That's what I'm saying. So basically, you find the houses, you sell the houses, and I'll just stand there and I'll look at the fixtures and I'll say, you know what? There's no motorcycle in the living room. I say buy the house, and we'll close out the deal.
Listen, you know what I'm going to say? This house is ready to close. You know who's not ready to close on this relationship? David. And I've had it. I've had it.
David would get an allergic reaction every time TNT would show the closer. He didn't like it.
So Polly's like, oh, so the catch is I do your job for you. And she's like, listen, I've been doing your Instagram filtering. You think that's an easy job? You look like a fucking Marvel superhero. Okay, have you seen yourself? Bravo, take off the filter for a second. Take it off. Dun, dun, dun. It's like, whoa. All right, put it back on. Put it back on. You think that's easy work? You can do some real estate paperwork for me, Paulie.
I moved in with Paul almost a year ago, but I still consider myself to be a very independent person. So getting back into real estate feels very natural. I flipped houses with Frank. That was great. And we see flashbacks to like Frank and Dolores, which is basically him being like, Dolores, where's the pebble tile? I don't like the pebble tile, Frank. You gotta put in the pebble tile, Dolores.
And he's like, I'd rather see you independent now. It doesn't matter what I have or what you have, because together I have more, let's face it. But I'd like you to feel that you have things, even if they're not my things, because you're never getting my things. Does that make sense? Here's the thing about Pauly. I love his countertops. I feel like they do live in his bachelor pad still, which is weird.
Yeah.
But I also want to fuck Pauly because of that. I love the bachelor pad. I love the countertops. I like the slight cheesy douchiness of the bachelor pad, but it's still somewhat classy to me, isn't it? Is it to you?
It is nice. I mean, this is a series that has famously had really gaudy interiors. I'll never forget Teresa's angel wing door handles to get into her house. So his is kind of like sleek and modern. I do
There's
think
still
it's
like
weird.
faux finishing in this
Right.
state.
And he like parks his luxury cars like right out on the curb, like right. He like doesn't park them in his garage. He parks them like outside of his garage, which is very douchey. But I do like his space quite a bit. It looks weird when Dolores throws parties there, and you see like the focaccia alligator like on that sleek countertop. It feels like a weird fit, you know.
Yeah.
But I like it.
I feel like focaccia animals really work in like Phoenix. Does that make sense? I feel like I've seen them in like lizard, like, you know, in Arizona mostly is where I've seen focaccia shape or like animal shaped bread.
That's okay. I can see that. Like I feel like focaccia animals does feel very Jersey, but I feel like they match like a Jacqueline Larita decor where it's like brown countertops, brown granite with dark brown here, light brown here, more brown over here, and like a picture of like a harvest cornucopia in the background, you know?
Yeah. So then Paul's like, yeah, you need to be independent. And Dolores is like, yeah, plus Paul's not divorced yet, you know? But divorced or not, I always want to make sure I can take care of myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so every time that Paulie says I need independence, I just say, and you know what, you're also not divorced yet, so you want to talk about independence? Why don't you take the pen out of the independence and put it onto the papers that says, get out of my life, other lady.
Yeah, what's going on with this not divorcing thing? Like he's still friends with his ex-wife, so he figures he'll just stay married to the ex-wife? I forgot.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like an extreme like Catholicism thing, but it's I think, which is a new show on A&E, by the way, extreme Catholicism things.
Yes, it's not an extreme Catholicism thing because he is shacking up on TV with Dolores. So, is she living there? Does she still have her own house? She lives there now, right?
You know, I don't know. I was thinking about that because part of me feels like she still has her old house because I imagine that's where Gabby and Frank Jr. live. Right?
I don't know.
Where did they live?
I told you I watched this. This show has been like Minority Report brainwashed out of my head. Was that about brainwashing?
They just live in the garage. They live in Paulie's garage, which is why the cars aren't parked in there. And then Dolores comes down with like food. She goes, "Sorry, kids, we're looking to find you a bedroom." And Frankie's like, "You're doing the best you can, Mom. Love you."
This is what it's like to be independent. So she's like, you know, and then the other thing is I love being a part of a start to somebody's life, right? And like I like when people trust me. And that's what real estate is. You're a part of the start of their life. They trust you. You show them what a blowjob bell is. They get blowjobs. It's like mothering and finding people a home at the same time.
There are very few realtors in New Jersey, dare I say even the nation, who could tell you the exact time it takes to walk from the kitchen to the living room and back to the kitchen again. And that's what I bring.
I love that Dolores, it's so wonky how she's just going to be like, okay, we're going to open the scene with talking about independence and real estate, and then we'll start gossiping, okay? I've got it. I really like being there for the start of people's lives, and I love when people put trust in me. You know who's got a problem with trust? This group of girls. Got it? Nailed it? All right. Send it to print.
Segue.
I work every day of my life. Every day of my life I work.
It was like the new topic for the scene just came in and said, "Hello." So he's like, "Oh, there's no trust in this group." He goes, "There's no trust in this friendship. Zero. No trust. Absolutely none. No trust whatsoever." Okay, I think we can move on. I think we nailed the point. Just want to emphasize, no trust whatsoever.
You know what? I wouldn't even trust the Zestimate on the trust in this group. Okay.
Guess what? There's 27 offers on this group, and I don't trust a single one of them.
You know, like last night. Look at the trust at that party last night. There was none. And he's like, I didn't know that Italian guys get so fucking offended. I mean, give me a fucking break. I was about to take out my titty and breastfeed him, because that's what I compare weakness to. Babies who need boobies.
Unfortunately, my schmedium shirt wouldn't allow any sort of movement with any sort of titties, so I just sort of kept the titty on the inside, and looked forward to that 10:30 o'clock at night when I could finally exhale and take the shirt off.
Unfortunately, my shirts are so small that the second I put them on, any milk left in me is squeezed out immediately. So I didn't really have any left for him, but still. Stop crying, boy.
Gets squeezed right into your face. So, has Polly been crying? No, he's got his milks in his eyes right now. So,
He's not crying, but I wouldn't suggest he drive.
well, we got a big weekend coming up, Paul. We're all going to be together again. Danielle invited us to a thing down the shore for Nate. He's like, oh, yeah, I heard about that. Oh, a bunch of pussies, right? A bunch of pussies. I never heard of so many pussies being offended by the Jersey Shore before. Okay, Paul, come on, let's go on. So,
Oh, is that the place where there's a bunch of men with greasy hair crying? That's what I see. That's what I see coming up.
Oh, remind me to bring an extra cloth so I can drape it over their heads while I breastfeed them. Huh.
I shouldn't say that. Greasy hair, right? That's not nice. I just meant a lot of hair product. But does that
I just want to say, in New Jersey, I think doesn't matter your background. I think everyone in New Jersey has greasy hair. I'm really coming from New Jersey today. To be fair, New York too. I'm a New Yorker. New York as well.
Yeah, I think I'm just jealous because I miss having hair. I was a pomade person. There is no greasier hair than pomade, and I would put it on all day. Like it would dry, and then it would I don't know, relax, and then I would put more in there. I was so addicted. And now look at me. I'm just a bald.
Oh yeah.
Bald man crying about greasy hair on Bravo.
I used to do a pomade wax thing, and I think my hair is thinning rapidly, and I think it's probably because of that product, because you put it in and then you happen to touch your hair and an entire patch of hair just comes out because it just clumped together on that shit.
Maybe it was pomade because I used that.
Pomade ruined it.
So Dolores is like, you know what? We're gonna go to the Jersey Shore with a bunch of non-trustworthy people, and you're gonna finally love the shore. You're gonna love it, Paulie.
And he's like, oh, okay. Well, do I have to get lines shaved on the side of my head or something like that? Vanilla Ice called back. Am I right, everyone? She goes, shut up, Paul.
Sent over at Teresa's house. Louie and Teresa walking around like billboards. She's wearing hers. It's like,
I know this is
Focaccia, the podcast. Namaste, tree. The podcast. Tricaccia.
This scene is brought to you all by Zazzle. Okay, so yeah, Louis is wearing a shirt. I don't remember what Louis' shirt said,
Louis
but I just
says, "Give me pizza, you old troll," which is a line uttered by Melania to Joe Gorga, which is super weird because Louis already had the whole you know what I do? I wear your no-nose pajamas to bed every night just to make your mama feel home.
I know.
Which is so fucking weird. And now he's wearing memories from the children to Joe. It's weird.
Yeah. So Lou's like, hey, babe, what are you doing? And she's like,
I'm just deciding what I'm going to wear to your dad's celebration tonight.
he's like, oh, yeah. It's my dad's 8-year sober day. So they're going to be celebrating his dad because 8 years, it's the 6s and the 8s.
It's another very
68.
standard year to celebrate things. 8 years. So then we see a flashback to 2020. And Louis' dad is kind of like a dad from Seinfeld. Whose dad is he? He's kind of like George Costanza's dad.
He looks like one of the friends at the retirement community in Florida. That they,
And Louis is like, growing up, I had a hard time with my dad. He was an alcoholic. He's a recovered alcoholic now. And now he means everything in the world to me, especially now that I got his social security number on his last place of residence for the past 5 years. Basically all his financial info. We're getting along pretty well.
Yeah, I think he gets what does he get again? He gets like a coin or something like that. What does he get?
Yeah, he gets a coin representing 8 years. I'm gonna say something. Because I want him to know that he's got to be proud. That's not an easy road to drive down, especially when you're drunk. All right.
Well, maybe when he was driving down that road, he got so scared that he pulled over and then went to his father-in-law's house and took a shot just because he was so rattled,
Hold on. I'm going to change my shirt. This one says, my bitch wife is coming. My bitch wife is coming.
Yeah, I didn't know it spelled like that.
So she's like, he's the best father-in-law I ever had. Bling, 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 bling. And so then we find out that they're going to Nate's party this weekend. But then the moving trucks are coming. Oh my God, babe, I almost cried this morning because Gabriella's going to college.
Oh, come here, babe. Oh, let me give you a hug, babe. Oh. And she's like,
Oh, she's leaving in 5 days. Oh, no.
and she's like,
When Gabriella leaves for college, we're all going to feel the difference because she's like the rock of the family.
and then we see how she's a rock.
You know, she puts the alarm on every night. She writes texts like, oh, the dog just peed and I picked it up. I'm so tired of it, you know. Like, she actually remembers to lock the doors and she turns the oven off at night.
I love that her deep memory of her child is cleaning up dog pee.
Gabriella, who's gonna clean up the dog pee?
Teresa, when she said,
Yeah, Gabriella, she's the rock of the family.
oh, trust me, you'll always be the rock in this family.
They'll always be.
When
I might
anybody
be a
thinks
tree,
of a
but I'm
rock,
also a rock.
they will think of Tree. Tree has the mental capacity of a pet rock. No one is ever going to confuse anybody else in this family for the rock. Don't you worry, hun. So she's like,
Yeah, she reminded me of my mom. My mom always had paper towels on her to clean up dog pee. She's so special. She really is. I'm gonna miss her, babe.
The way that Gabriella could go into a grocery store and tell you the difference between Windex and Ajax. Oh, man.
Let me tell you what that girl could do. She could really clip a coupon, babe.
Louis starts stroking Teresa's hair. He's like, I love you. Which is just so creepy. And she's like,
You know, they went through a lot, my kids, Like, but anyways. So we're going to Jed's house for the day, and I want to go to Nate's party tomorrow night.
I was like, oh, so we're just.
that's what I'm saying.
What a transition.
The segues in this episode are so hilarious. It's like every time they don't even bother anymore.
I know that we're losing Gabriella. Let's go to Nate's party this weekend. We're just gonna fight with anybody.
I can't wait. And Teresa's like,
I got nothing to say to Margaret except, hey, do you know someone who might be able to pick up poop around the house? But other than that, I got nothing to say.
So and the ice begins where everybody's icing each other out this season. And she's like,
Yeah, because, there's things that we can't talk about right now, because there's more to come, all right? Because there's things that I can't say because it involves legal issues, and it's regarding Margaret Joseph, but I can't wait for the world to see what a liar she is. I'm going to be so happy, singing like a bird.
like Teresa's already doing her squeal, anger, happiness thing. Teresa is not going to have a good season this year. This is bad. If she's already doing that squeal, like I'm so happy squeal, when she's really furious and about to like flip some tables, it's not going to go well this year.
yeah. So she's like,
Yeah, we got our answers.
and Louis like, yeah, we did. And she's like,
So, like, that's why the people are trying to get a rise out of us, because, like, it's like in one ear, out the other.
I'm like, I think that's how you also wound up in jail, by the way. You let too many things go in and out of your brain instead of saying, wait a second.
Also,
Not
I
that.
think that's kind of how air works around your head. It just goes in an ear and out the ear. It's Teresa.
That's why you always hear like a subtle whistling sound around her.
Yeah. Oh my God, if you put Teresa up next to your head, you can hear the ocean. So Antonia's birthday party at Alia, which is funny because it's kind of like,
Alaya. Of course she's going to go have a dinner at Alaya. Liar.
so this is a graduation party for Antonia. And Joe's like, oh my God, 18, right? That's nuts. What are you, 18? That's crazy. That's when Teresa said we had to stop making out.
That was cutoff time. Melissa's like, I asked her what she wanted and she said brunch. She wants to go out with her friends tonight. And she said, Mom, for my 18th birthday, I want to do nothing but hang out with you and all of your brothers and sisters while you prove to America that you're the better side of the family. That's all I want for my birthday.
So it's family, and Melissa's like, you never realize that when people say time flies, like when when you have kids, that's what that it really does. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. So then we see all the family. They're really going to try and sell us on the family this year and make them other characters to prove that they can do this without the Teresa drama. I'm just going to say preemptively, you can't. You've tried to shove Patty and Selma, Marge Simpson's sisters, down our throats for years, and your mom, what's her buns.
I will always welcome Donna. I love Donna.
I mean,
actually like the Gorka.
I don't have any
side.
like strong hatred for these people. I'm just saying you've tried to make them happen for years and they just haven't happened. Like, what do you think is going to change? You know, like throw some.
It's true. They have not popped as a family. However, I do think they seem like better people than Teresa. Like, I do think they are like warmer people. But I agree.
Hard disagree from me.
You like them more than Teresa? Well, the thing is, I want to say Teresa's side, but there is no other side.
I don't compete on this show. I don't have a comp. They're all trash. I can say both sides of this one are pretty much trash. I don't feel any need to take sides in this one.
I think that's probably safe. So they're just talking. They're reflecting about like 18 years, and Melissa talked about how she had a C-section and everything, and they're just talking about this, reflecting. And so then Antonia is, she's like embarrassed by everything that they say. And Melissa's like, I'm going to do a toast. So she goes, Antonia, I want you to go meet new people and explore your oats. She's like, oh my God, Mom, I don't even know how I'm able to string together sentences. I thought Tia Tree was really stupid, but you're really, I think I may have to defect to that side of the family after that comment.
And one of the sisters like,
That's not the same, Melissa. She's like, oh, I guess it's a color on your oath. Oh, Melissa, that's not how you say it, you wackadoo. Travel with your oath. Oh, come on, Melissa, you're so hilarious. You're just better than Teresa.
like Melissa does this whole like faux bimbo thing where she's like, I'm hilarious too. Look at me not knowing phrases. So, okay, I guess I will pick a side. I think Teresa's insane and a monster, but she's at least a genuinely funny wreck of a monster. Whereas Melissa's just like a try hard to copy the thing that she hates. So I guess Team Tree. Tree and Louie. I'm on the Tree and Louie. I'm a tree hugger.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Melissa is actually this dumb, and I think I can't be on Teresa's side. I'm sorry, I just can't. So
that's temporary. It's just for this scene. But I'm not falling for Melissa's like, I don't know what wild oats means. So then they talk about boys, and then we get to the part. Then we get to the gay section, which was my personal favorite.
Out of nowhere, there's gays in Melissa's family. So we have cousin Nick. So they
got him off Craigslist. They're just fake gays. They're not even really part of the family. They're like, you know what,
Melissa, we need people to like you more this year if we're gonna finally get me and these girls on.
Yeah, Melissa, what are we gonna do? Don't forget the wild oats things.
Let's hire a gay. Bring a gay in.
Every now and then, Bravo trots out a Jersey gay on this show, like Caroline Manzo's brother. We don't see them often, but every now and then they do come to the fore, and it's always hilarious.
Gregory,
there was Greg. Iconic. You're right. I'm sorry. Greg
Yeah,
was a foundational gay on Bravo as a whole, so I apologize. I take it all back.
One of my favorite all-time Bravo gays, Greg.
And since him, we have not seen much. So now all of a sudden we have two gays who are engaged. And it definitely reminded me of that skit that they used to have on SNL where Bill Hader and Fred Armisen were playing Jersey gays. And they're like, we're gays from New Jersey. And they would talk like this the entire time. But then they'd be like, no, I love you too. And then make out. So this is what we have. We got Nick. He's like, hey, we're gay. We're getting engaged. We're getting married. We break the rules. The gay men. Hey.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my God, we're so nice to gay people. And they're like, yeah, we're so good to gays. And they like try and squeeze out some tears, but no one's really crying. And he's like, you guys, when I came out the closet, you were so into gayness. And that's so helpful to me. And they're like,
oh my God, I'm crying. You crying, Mom? I'm crying. Are you crying? I'm crying too. Are you crying? I'm crying.
None of you are crying. Stop your fake gay tears, okay? Nobody's buying this shit. So then the gay is like, Joe, you know, when I came out, you embraced us. Literally embraced us. So hard. God, my back still kind of hurts from it. I think you grabbed my nuts too. You kept brushing my nuts with your palm. And Joe's like, listen. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the same thing to you I say to everybody. Gay guy, girl, you both got warm mouths. Am I right? Who am I to judge?
The way that I love you guys, like you don't really even know. I'm choked up right now. Like, hold on. There he is.
Here comes the Darius. Yeah, because Joe's going to be the preacher for this wedding, which is kind of hilarious too. Just them walking down the aisle.
Excited for this. There he is. Hey, two gay guys walk down the aisle. Which one's the bride? Am I right? Anyway, just some humor. They're like, so Joe, we put in, now that you're our officiant, when do we finally get a dick pic from you? Because we really put in a lot of investment into this.
Hey, I registered for your wedding. It's just like a dick pic.
I know. That was registered on OnlyFans.
So then Melissa starts her whole, oh God, and the fact that you chose my husband, he's such his family, and you guys treat him like family, and like he's like his family, and his own family doesn't treat him like family, but you treat him like family. He is family. You guys have been married 97 years. You have an 18-year-old daughter. Why are we acting so shocked that these people?
Of course, they're gonna choose like the hot guy who's famous to be their officiant. Like, they're like, oh my God, I mean so much. Like, yeah. He's got a good body and he's famous, of course.
Yeah, they're like, do you think we want would you think we want zero presence on social media for our wedding? Hello?
Do you think we want Joe number 7 to be our officiant? No, we want Joe Gorga because there's 50 Joes at the table. It's Joe and Nick and Joe and Tony and Jake, Joe and Joe.
All right. You know what? We're taking, I'm helping Melissa get the orders for her wedding dinner, her reception. Okay. So how many Joes are they going to be? I'm just going to mark that. It's like instead of the chicken or the fish. Okay. So we've got 9 Joes at that table and 4 Franks. Okay.
Do you ever think about that, like, Here Comes the Bride, like, may have been written by, Dolores? If you really think about the lyrics, here comes the bride, all dressed in white.
Dum dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's all right there. Here comes the bride. You know,
it's all dressed in white.
Polly, look, here comes the bride, all dressed in white. What are the rest of the lyrics to that song? Are there other lyrics than that?
I just said them. Dum dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum.
So now we go back to Teresa's house, and Gia is there. She's there doing something. They're getting ready for M-Sculpt. And so Teresa's like,
Hi, honey. What are you doing over there? The spa people are going to get you. I'm Danielle and Jennifer coming over. How's work going? Do you know about that? Do you know anything about picking up poop, by the way? Just wondering. Did you learn that at Rutgers? We need some help around the house.
I'm sorry, but you started something, and now I had to look it up. Here
Oh,
comes
lyrics.
the bride. Oh, God.
do it in Dolores' voice, please.
There's a lot. There's a lot happening. Here comes the bride, all dressed in light. Radiant and lovely, she shines in this sight. Gently she glides, graceful as a dove, meeting her bridegroom, her eyes full of love. Love have they waited, so long have they planned. Life goes before, then opening her hand. Asking God's blessing as they begin, life with new meaning, life shared as one. You know what? I'm not even bothering to rhyme anymore because it's like, how many verses are there? If the bride's not at the front by now, the church should just leave because we don't have all day to wait for this bride. Some of us work every day of our lives.
Hello. There, that's it.
Hello.
So,
I'm sorry. That was reserved for Pattison weddings. Here comes the hello, bride.
hello. So we find out that Gia has graduated from Rutgers. It's so wild. Gia has now graduated from college. Also, like, I get so turned around by Housewives timelines because of the gap between when a show is shot versus when it airs. It just feels like every single time with these kids, like last season we saw Gia going off to college, and this season she's graduated. I'm like, how did this happen? So
That's true though, and the shows air every year. But how is it that it's like we see a show and then it's been 5 years since we've seen the kids?
Yeah,
it doesn't
remember,
make
it's
any
like-
sense.
remember Avery went off to college, and then next thing we knew, it's like, whoa, so Avery is now 35. She's working in finance, okay? I'm like, how? I thought she was Sarah Lawrence.
Avery just married Hume Cronin, okay? In retirement. I was like, wait a minute, what?
She's driving Miss Daisy, okay?
No, a little robot came down from heaven, and it was really nice. Like, what? How are you the plot of Short Circuit? Was Short
Excuse me,
Circuit with
that's
elderly
called-
people?
No, that was called Batteries Not Included, okay?
That's true. Wait,
It's a movie that made
what
me
was Short
cry as a
Circuit?
child.
Batteries not included. You know what? Like every toy when I was a child. That's it. There were no such things as batteries. Okay, it was wood. Everything had arms. Okay, it was like a doll with wooden arms. That's it.
I wouldn't let Avery watch Batteries Not Included because we all know it's about old people who have a shitty, shitty tenement. And then aliens come down and fix it for them. And I said to Avery, don't watch this movie because it can make you want to live in a tenement, okay?
Yeah. Short
my life
Circuit was
lesson.
a film about a robot. It had
It
Ali
was.
Sheedy and Steve Gutenberg. But that
course.
wasn't the one with the elderly people. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
that Jessica Tandy and Hume Cronin were in Batteries Not Included.
They were in that.
And also Elizabeth Pena was in that too. And I remember seeing that in the movie theaters, and I cried at the end. I don't even know if it was a tearjerker, but I cried. I was like, the apartment building.
God, they sure knew how to get us back then.
They knew how to find the gays. Listen, I'm telling cousin Nick probably had a similar story. He's like, hey, I remember watching Batteries Not Included, and I got a happy. Like, who are the children who are crying at Batteries Not Included? Okay, keep an eye out for them. They're gonna need some special love.
Okay, so Teresa's like,
Yeah, she graduated and she got into immigration law because of what happened with her dad.
really? Well, why didn't she go into filing for your fucking passport? Is that not an industry? Because she could help a lot more people if she just said, follow the proper steps you're supposed to follow to get your passport, because it will matter one day.
Immigration law is not like she makes it sound like she makes it sound like Joe was kicked out of the country because he was just trying to provide for his family and he was working illegally, never got his papers, and and then suddenly there was some grave injustice that said, like, no, you like committed fraud on a wide scale level, and on top of that, you never got your citizenship. So yeah. That's probably what
that
happened.
was the thing. It was all when Andy was like, "So wait, why you were born here, weren't you? Why don't you have your citizenship? Was he born here? I don't remember how it worked." But Andy was like, "Why don't you have your citizenship?" He's like, "Yeah, I was supposed to file for that, but who cares? Like, so what? Like, I
Yeah,
didn't
this
want
was
to,
not.
I
This was
like,
not like a tragic tale at like you watch on like an episode of something on PBS where your heart's breaking for the injustice of the system. This is a guy who like committed fraud on a big scale, and then he also never got around to becoming a citizen. So yeah, that's it. Just you got extradited. That's or whatever it was. What's the term?
So if you're going to donate your life to helping, donate to helping, just remind people to do simple things like that. Like be sure to update your passport before you go out of town. That kind of thing.
Yeah, this was
So then she's like, oh my God, I'm thinking about Gabriella leaving. Hold on, how many days is it gonna be? 1, 5, 8, 7, brains, alcohol, sober. Wait, how long has your father been sober? 8 years. That's 1 week.
She is like, it's literally 4 days, Mom, until she leaves.
Oh my God, 4. We should hold a party. That way we have a 4 party, a 6 party, and an 8 party.
So she's like,
This morning I started crying.
and she's like, are you going to jail again?
No, it's cause she's going away.
And she's like, it's okay, Ma. You get emotional. You cry over everything. She's like,
I don't always cry.
she's like, yeah, you do.
Nah.
Yeah, you do.
Nah.
Yeah, you do.
I ain't crying.
You're crying right now.
Nah.
Hold on. Let me spray some air fresheners because I'm going to have people comes over and I want to smell goods. We have 4 dogs, okay?
So
4! The magic number 4! Let's have an anniversary party for the dogs that we have.
I'm so proud because my dogs, like one of them almost got run over 4 years ago. And I got 4 dogs. We're having 5 parties. That
Well,
number
you just
doesn't really
sprayed,
make sense, but still.
Ma. You just sprayed the same spot 12 times.
12? I didn't even know we could get that high.
Let's have a 12 party. 12 party.
12?
So then Danielle's just knocking at the door, and she's like,
There's like 1 million people living here and no one's gonna answer the door already. Come on.
So she comes in and they start talking about M-Sculpt. And Teresa's like,
Yeah, I used it before. And she's like, M-Sculpt is a procedure. You get it done in your stomach and your butt. It's like doing 50,000 squats.
50,000? How we even do a party for 50,000?
like the whole season is now planned out.
I know.
Literally parties for every week now.
50,000 is too clean of a number, so that would never happen.
So Danielle's like,
Oh, yeah, I've done sculpting to every avenue of this body. The only thing I don't have is a butt, you know? Because I got to work on that. And then I got to make sure my body is nice and right for the Jersey Shore. So a little yap, 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 yap. Yeah, New York Fashion Week. You want to fuck with me? You're going to fuck with my zapping. Tell you that much. You better back the fuck up.
we need to see Danielle fight. It's episode 2, and we haven't seen Danielle lose her temper yet. It's my
I
favorite
know.
side of Danielle when she just loses her shit over nothing.
It's a little weird that we haven't seen it yet. So it's also weird that we haven't seen much of Jennifer Aiden. So here she comes, she arrives, and they start their M sculpt and everything. And Teresa gets on the table, and now her butt's just getting sculpted. And Danielle's like,
Well, ladies, friendship is hitting new levels today. Yeah, you don't got, hey, Teresa, you don't got one fucking pimple on your ass. Bingo!
Yes, the tan. You got a nice tan ass, Teresa.
And they're like, okay, everybody, let's get this started. So they do this sculpt. I want this sculpt.
I
Do
know,
you
me
think this
too.
works?
I saw it. I was like, I want this. I want this
It's
done.
got
to
a lot
me.
of. It's gonna take a lot of work. I look kind of like a sleeping bag over a folding chair at this point. I don't know that there's much this can do, but I'll try it. How do I do it?
Yeah. Yeah, it looked really fun. So Jennifer's like,
Well, honestly, baby, I can't do the sculpt without the laughing gas. It's painful for me. It's painful for me, baby.
And then they start talking about the other ladies, like what's gonna happen at this party. So then we cut to Margaret playing pickleball. Okay, hi, I'm at the pickleball studio. John and Gabby, tell me about pickleball. They're like, it's like tennis, but different. Great, that's all I needed to know. It's all the rage right now. Pickleball, everyone's talking about. Of course, they just got pickleball in Jersey. Like,
I
guys, where
know.
the fuck have you been? We've been on an anti-pickleball crusade for like 5 years.
I know, this is like old news. So she's like, my athletic skills are a little rusty since I broke my wrist. Roll the footage. So we see her falling over, breaking her wrist again. And she goes, I played a little tennis back years ago when I was sleeping with a tennis instructor. I have to sleep with the sports instructor to really get into the sport. Jennifer Aiden's like,
Oh, and suddenly I can't make fun of her being a slut anymore. What's going on here, baby?
I'm not sleeping with the pickleball instructor as of yet. So then
Screenshot.
they start practicing and stuff. And then Rachel comes in and Melissa comes in. And Rachel's like, it smells like models in here.
Gotta go to Moe's. Gotta go to Moe's. So Margaret's like, oh, hi, babe. You look adorable. Let me give you a hug where I do the thing where I drape my hands over your shoulders and kiss you on the cheek. And
You
she goes,
dress
this is
very pickleball. I didn't know what it was today, and I have no idea how you're supposed to dress for it, but you did it. You're very pickleball today.
Rachel's like, so how do you play? And the guy's like, it's just like ping pong. I'm just gonna say that because I know this is gonna be a hopeless session. So just pretend you're playing ping pong. She's like, okay, I suck at ping pong. All right, well, that's all I've got. That's all I can do to help you ladies with this game.
And then, of course, Melissa comes in and she goes, what is pickleball? Oh, yeah, you've never heard of Come on. Can't with this faux stupidity. So Rachel's like, it makes me crazy. But I forget the things that make me crazy until the show comes back. I'm like, oh, I can't. Stop pretending to be dumber than you are. Okay, you're dumb enough to be entertaining as it is. So they're like, what's pickleball? So they start that. And then we cut back to the butt sculpting. And Let's see. They're still talking about butts. Okay. So then
Yes.
Danielle goes,
Oh, God, I feel it. It's on my ass now. Hey, we're talking about asses a lot this week, right? You don't got a double-sided purple dildo coming, do ya? That hurts. That hurts. Bitch, you're fucking with my ass. You better watch your ass, bitch. I hate that.
Listen, baby, we cannot judge what people do. What people like in the boudoir is their business. You know, some people call it a boudoir. Some people call it a back house behind the pool. Whatever happens in there stays in there, baby. So, you know, if you like a little tickle in the ass, then tickle the ass. Bingo, baby.
Whatever happens in the boudoir stays in the boudoir, baby. Mm.
Seriously goes, oh my God. And Danielle's like, well, I would do a double-sided dildo with you. I'm just saying, guys. So then we go back to the pickleball courts. Pickleball. I'm starting to talk like I'm in New Jersey. We're at the pickleball courts, and Rachel's like, "Oh, my shoulder's killing me." And so then she talks about how she has RA and rheumatoid arthritis, and she tells the whole story about growing up, and she had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis and hip replacements by the age of 18, things like that. Which it's tough.
but it's just such a Jersey way to tell the story because it's like the sad story. It's like juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Dun, dun. It's like violins. And it's like really sweet story, And like we don't know Rachel that well except from the show. And it's like, well, that's a nice story and stuff. And then she's like, and then I was able to compete. It just cuts to her looking like a burnt fried chicken. In that bikini contest when she was bikini contest just covered in the spray tan, just like it's just like such a funny juxtaposition.
The triumph, the triumph of like I conquered rheumatoid arthritis so I could participate in a bikini bodybuilding competition. It's like, okay,
so I could become
Whatever
a
floats your
talking
boat.
piece of fried chicken in a bikini for that few months of my life. So then Melissa's like, oh, my mother fell today holding the baby because Anthony broke her elbow. I mean, she's holding a baby, and then she tripped, and she saved the baby, but she landed on her elbows, and so she had to get stitches on her chin. That's crazy. Drop the baby.
How many
They're
times do we have
bouncy.
to say this? Cameras 24/7. Okay,
Yeah.
we need some
I say
slapstick
save
on
your
there.
elbows, drop the baby. They're made out of bouncy stuff.
Yeah, babies will be able to take the fall as long as it doesn't land on its head. It wouldn't have landed on its head. What baby was this anyway? By the way, whose baby? Oh,
She
was it
said
her?
that
her
she
niece?
said that her sister's daughter is now a grandmother, which is
Right.
nuts.
Yeah, which is wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that baby.
They're talking about kids and stuff, and she's still going to be down the shore, all right. And so then they start. Melissa's like, okay, since Danielle's having everyone anyway down the shore, it's Joe's birthday that weekend, so I figured I'll throw like a little daytime party for Joe.
Yeah, Melissa says something that is probably the most confusing thing you can say on this show. Did I tell you I'm going to have a birthday party for Joe? My Joe? No. 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 My Joe. Your Joe? You got to be more specific when you say you're having a party for Joe.
Christina, the sculpting lady, is like, my Joe? It's not my Joe, is it? No. Okay, good. So she's like,
yeah.
Margaret, you should sleep over. And Margaret's like, oh my God, thank God. I love staying in homes. This is amazing. I get my own room. I just can't wait to stay at your home. This is going to be so amazing. I'm so glad we're not in that other disgusting house of people. I'll tell you that much.
And Rachel is going to have Jen and Danielle Jen Fessler stay at her house with Danielle too. And so we go back to body sculpting, and Danielle's like,
Hey, anyway, I hope everyone's good for Friday because it's really such a nice party. And, 6 years is a special number.
so just real quick, I'm going to stay at the Fuda's house at the shore. And I know it's like a real slippery slope for me trying to build a new friendship with her. So I just want to put it out there. Like, don't get mad. I'm going to talk to Rachel Fuda.
Yeah, and Teresa's like,
Yeah, you know me. I don't tell people who to be friends with. Blink, 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 bitch.
Totally.
But, I don't tell you whose team to be on. You want to be friends with Rachel? Like, God bless. You know what I mean? But, like, whatever they want to believe, they believe. If they don't believe, we got to move forward. We got to move forward. What they believe, what they don't believe. Here's what I say. Dildos hanging out of an ass, sells drugs. You do what you want with that. Blink, 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 blink.
Back at pickleball, you know what? How did this whole situation even happen? I mean, like, that what Teresa was saying at John's, that he's like that John is the biggest drug dealer. I don't even want to say it because it's disgusting, but let me just highlight it again. Teresa said that John Fuda is the biggest drug dealer in all of New Jersey and maybe even the entire East Coast. I can't even believe it was even said. I don't even want to say it. You know what? I'm so outraged. I may even have to say it again to show how much I don't even want to say it. John Fuda, drug dealer, put them together, worst drug dealer America has ever seen. Awful, awful that these things are being said.
Well, we were talking about something that happened 20 years ago, guys. Okay? That's 20 years ago, guys. When John was 17 years old, he was selling pot. He got arrested. That's it. That's the story. So for her to try and weaponize something that my husband went through as a child, my husband, just an innocent child in preschool, selling weed.
You know, this is a grown-ass woman that went to prison and came out and has had zero growth. It's pathetic. You know what? The problem is that we'd like the gate to open up a little bit, and then the bull just comes on out. The gates are closed. The gates are closed in this strange metaphor that I've included in this situation.
Yeah, and she's like, no, the gate's closed. She goes, yeah, the gate's closed. The gate's closed. It is closed. The gate, it's absolutely closed. Don't open it. There's a bull behind there. I've tried this before. I've seen it on television. It's terrible. Yellowstone. What a show. You know, bulls kill people. It's nuts what they go through. Leave the gate closed. Leave it closed.
So now everyone's showing up in their shore houses.
I would just like to note, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. I would just like to note this whole drug dealer thing. If it was just weed, who cares? Just say, John, just do what you just did. John dealt weed when he was 17. That's it. Get over it. Stop giving it so much heat, especially because the reason this came out was because you spent your last season saying that your son's mother was a drug addict and all of this other stuff. I think they kind of started it with that because if they hadn't, I mean, but then what are you going to do? Just lie about it? But yeah, I just think you should have just said his mother had troubles and so I've been raising him or whatever. But to be like, yeah, it's them accusing this woman of being a drug, which she is. She's in prison and stuff. But I think it pissed her off and then she's getting revenge by telling all the people this other stuff. So I don't know. It's messy, but you guys kind of started it. That's what I'm saying. You started it.
Yeah, I ought to say is that he's hungry. He's hungry and hangry, and that's what's happening here. So you know, I'm getting hungry and hangry right now as we speak. I ate like
Thanks for the warning. Keep the gate closed. I'm keeping the gate closed on that.
Everyone, watch out! I ate a big bowl of oatmeal this morning because I was like, oatmeal is supposed to keep you like stave off the hunger for longer. So I had like a large bowl because I was like, we got a big day of podcasting, and I'm ravenous right now.
Carbs make you hungry. Food makes you hungry. The best way to not get hungry
oatmeal's
is
supposed
not
to be good
eat.
for you.
Okay, don't eat. Okay, so everyone's arriving at the respective shore, down the shore, down the shore, down that shore. You remember when this show used to be like, we're going to the Jersey Shore, and now that they say it properly, which is down the shore, you know, which I think is lovely. They're trusting us more. They're not treating us so like we're idiots in this audience. So everyone comes to their homes. We're at Rachel's shore house first, and she's like, "Oh my God, baby, so windy here. My hair's in my lip gloss, and I'm getting very, very upset about it. Very, very upset."
And then over at Jennifer Aiden's, they arrive at their very yellow Jersey Shore townhouse thing, and Olivia's like, she's like, "Oh God, after a 2-hour car drive, it was worth it. I'm hungry."
So dramatic. And then Joe's offering Melissa's mom, Donna, a drink. And Melissa's like, "Joe, I don't think she can have a drink." And Donna's like, "Can you fix my ponytail, honey? Can you fix it? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Don't stop bossing me around, Melissa. Okay, don't stop. And Melissa's like, "I can't believe you hurt your arm." It's like, "Do my ponytail." She's like, "Don't start bossing me around now, Mom." She can boss you around. She just got her arms. She saved a child. It was probably a gay child, which means, cue everybody's tears. Hold on, everybody. Could have been a gay child. Everybody pretend to cry for a minute.
Was batteries not included playing when this lady gave birth? So then we go back over to Jen's house. Jen is eating an enormous slice of pizza, and I don't know if anyone else did that, but Dom and I were watching, and we immediately paused the show, and we're like, "Do we get pizza right now?" And we literally just ordered pizza. We literally watched that Jennifer Aiden eating that slice of pizza caused us to get a whole friggin' pie of pizza because she's an influencer. What can I say?
So then back at Jen's shore house. Oh, yeah, she's eating the pizza. Okay. So then the fries, Olivia's like, "The fries look good." I mean, this fucking family. can I just tell you? They ordered pizza, fries, and fried chicken. This is my kind of family right here. This is my kind of family.
I want that entire menu right now.
Yeah, and then Teresa's coming over, so they also have to get salad. But nobody from this family is touching that shit. And you can tell because of how Jennifer dresses it. She takes a whole thing of balsamic and just like dumps the entire thing on. It's just so much. You just know that's not someone who touches salad. And I respect their game, I respect them just completely ignoring, all the past decades that the public health system has been trying to teach us. They're just like, no, we will have pizza wrapped around fried chicken and fries on the side. And that's it. And a milkshake. So fuck off.
Now, if it was Raj from Southern Charm, we'd be like, well, go fuck you. You never touch a salad. But with her, we're like, it's okay. She's earned the, doesn't have to touch the salad credibility,
Well, she pretends.
Yeah. She's not actually scared of salad.
Gets a salad. Yeah, that was his that was like his personality. Like, I hate vegetables on a show where the men can't grow up. So that's a little different. This one, it's just like, I'm rich. I can do whatever I want. I can afford the doctor's bills. So that's it. Meeting fried chicken wrapped in pizza with fries on the side.
Yeah. So Teresa and Louis show up, and Jennifer's offering them food. And then he's like, hey, so, or Paulie's like, so when is Bill coming? And she's like, oh, well, that's a funny question. I ask that to him all the time at night, but never get a good answer on that front, baby.
And he's like, oh, damn it. I have to talk to these women. And Dolores is like, yeah, I mean, I haven't been here in 2 years because Paulie's like, I'm not a Jersey Shore guy. Can you believe it? I mean, hey, Paulie, what are you not? A Jersey Shore guy. Listen, I'm more like a St. Martin, somewhere like that. That's the kind of guy I am.
Don't worry, he's going to like it here. We're going to put him in a room that's extra yellow, baby.
So then we go back over to Melissa's. And Margaret's like, oh, I can't wait to hear about how Paulie loves the boardwalk. I'm not like the cotton candy crew, not to be mean or whatever. And Melissa's like, you're not. She goes, and they're just shocked because they all know that Paulie hates going to the Jersey Shore and everything. And then she's like, yeah, so Paulie's staying at Jennifer's. I mean, I could never. I mean, have you seen that place? It's like looking at a honeydew just spread all the way across the walls.
It's like trying to take a nap in the middle of scrambled eggs. I can't. Never. I would die. I'm so blessed that I get to stay here. I mean, does this one have any children holding fried chicken screaming, I'm an eagle, and then rolling down the stairs? No? Good. I'm staying here forever.
Yeah, they're all basically like, oh, God, Jennifer's is the worst. Too many children.
So then they're talking about how much they miss Joe, blah, blah, blah. And Margot's like, I mean, come on. What's up with Bill? He didn't even come the other night to the party. And Melissa's like, well, you know what? She didn't say hello to me, and I didn't say hello to her. But, she also knows I'm not speaking to her bestie, Teresa. And so, it's just two sides, basically. Different houses, but two sides refusing to speak to each other.
Yeah. So, so then back at Rachel's house, Rachel's like, poor Jeff Fessler, what a good sport he is. And Jen Fessler's like, well, why is he a good sport? And she's like, well, because, he threw you, well, we both threw you this nice party and everything. We spent all this money and everything. And Jen's like, oh, it was the best party ever, except for the Teresa altercation. Should we talk about Teresa now? Let's talk about Teresa.
And Rachel's like, that was a whole new level of low, bringing up a child's drug dealing. That was just below the belt. And John Fudo's like, yeah, that's your friend, Fessler. What's going on with that? And she goes, oh, here we go. And they're like, come on, you got to pick sides there. John says, you're going to have to pick one there, okay? Because I can't associate people who associate with her. And she's like, here we go. I don't go into situations when someone says something mean. I'm not in turn mean. I don't have any beef with Teresa. We're not close. We're not like, I'm with you. I'm very close with you. Now, unfortunately, you're not the star of the show, so that's going to be a little trouble for me.
You're not the James Gandolfini, as it were. So
it is going to hurt me to betray you in about 5 minutes. It will hurt. It will.
Yeah, but the thing that's unfathomable to me is that you would ever want to be her friend. I mean, the writing's on the wall. If there's anyone walking on this planet that has seen the way that she and I have interacted, it's pretty fucking clear.
Yeah, well, not to defend her, but Instagram follower was much higher than yours. Fame, much higher than yours. Celebrity Apprentice, she did that, you didn't do it. So she said things that were horrible, but again, she's famous, you're not.
Case closed.
And Rachel's sticking to her guns. She's like, I mean, it's fucked up, Jen. And she's like,
Well, it's fucked up, but she fights dirty, and the lower you go, and the lower she goes, and the lower you go, and then she goes. Just stop going low, and maybe she'll stop going. But let's go higher. Let's get higher. Shall we get higher? And when I say higher, I mean Instagram follower counts that I'm about to get higher in because I'm going to be friends with Teresa. You fucking nobody. Oh, do you have any cheese? I love cheese.
So now Danielle and Nate show up and everything, and Danielle's like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I really like Rachel and John, but it's always hard to be put in the middle, which is why I always put myself in the middle. That's been your whole role. Your entire last season was you in the middle.
So they're like, wow, look, Rachel and Danielle are such good friends now. And Rachel's like, yeah, I want to stay because going into things like, you have this anxiety, this angst, but I just want everyone to be cool tonight, okay? And Danielle's like,
Yeah, it's a party for Nate. Everybody's got to be on the same page. I just want everybody to be positive. And if they're not positive, I'm going to get them by the throat. I'm going to rip their fucking throats open. I'm going to drink the blood out of them. And that's going to fill me with what I need to get on with the rest of the night. I'm not fucking kidding with any of yous.
Yeah, so now everyone's getting ready for Nate's celebration, and Jennifer Fessler, she goes up to Rachel, goes, so I have a question. Is this outfit too young for me? And she's like, what part of the outfit is even young in the first place?
So then Joe Gorga has a wacky moment of finding one of Margaret's wigs and wearing it around.
Yeah.
And then Margaret is upstairs dressing Joe, and she goes, oh my God, Joe, if anyone wonders why I dress you, it's because your belt is on upside down. Like, how does that even happen?
And then Joe Gorga's like, hey, Benino, you want an espresso? You want an espresso, Benino? Hey, you want one? There he is. Espresso, there he is.
Joe, you can't be wearing my wig. That wig cost a lot of money. Well, it didn't cost a lot of money, but it is real hair, and I did take it off of Lexi after I slipped her an Ambien. All right? Cut it right off of her. So it means something to me. That was really good prank hair that I stole.
Did Lexi and I steal this from a He-Man convention? Possibly. Was it a lot of work? Absolutely. So don't mishandle it.
Listen, I saw Captain Sandy taking a nap at BravoCon, and I got my snippets out. There's a lot of work to get
actually
that
made
show.
it. I made it. This is from the Macbeth collection. So there's they'll take photos of the wigs and everything like that. So we're at Fuda's house, and then Joe's making roadies for the guests and everything, and John is they're just getting ready. They're making the roadies, and Danielle's like, was it Jen Fessler who's like, I never heard of that, a roadie. What's a roadie? Is that a thing, a roadie? Is this too young on me?
So then they're taking shots at the other house. Okay, now it's time to head to the party.
It's a lot of back and forth. I was like, what is happening here?
Well,
when you watch it, it all makes sense. But when you recall it back, you're like, how did we all internalize this? This is wild.
Yeah, this is the way to the party. So everybody's just, having small talk in their cars. Melissa's car is talking about how Joe's going to be, at the gay wedding and be the father of preacher or whatever. And then in the Fuda van, they're driving over there, and they're just getting themselves worked up. John's like, I ain't fighting with nobody. I ain't talking about anything. I can't wait till I fucking see him. I can fight with him.
Yeah. He's really getting himself ready. He's really coming. His season 2 energy is just so different now, So then Rachel, they're talking about Jen Fessler saying, like, by the way, Melissa Gorga, when she's drinking, I have to hold my ass for dear life. She's coming for my ass more than I'm coming for James Gandolfini. That was a joke, Jeff. That was a joke about my past, Jeff, about when I slept with James Gandolfini. You could at least laugh if we're on camera.
So Danielle's like,
Yeah, that girl's fun, unlike Jackie. Just an FYI, I did invite her tonight. Is that going to be a big thing now, huh? Is that a big thing? Anybody want to say something about it?
And Rachel's like, that will be a big thing. Hard yes.
Yeah, well, she really was not nice to me. She made fun of my clothes. She said, how I was trashy. She talked about me being stupid.
That's true. That is true. I mean, that is true that the things that she said are absolutely very true. I'm not saying that what she said was true. I'm not saying it's true that she said it. I'm saying it's true that what she said is actually true.
All right. So, there's only so many times someone could do that to me. Like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. It's like, One more shot. Okay, fool me a ninth time. All right, let's have some coffee and talk about it. Fool me 10th time. I don't know.
Cut
Maybe
my
we'll go
mother
on to
off.
11th.
That's it. I'm not speaking to that bitch ever again. All right, I said, have my mother never call me again. So then they arrive at Nate's party, and it's in like some arena somewhere. And there's a sign, and it says, "Not just surviving, but thriving."
Yeah, and it's everyone's there, and everyone's like, it's like everyone's gathering. It's nice and everything. And so then we're gonna meet the friend for the season, who we saw in the trailer. So Rachel goes up to her. Her name is Tiffany, and Rachel's like, "You look familiar. Where are you from? Bodybuilding competitions?" And she's like, "I grew up in Verona, and then my husband grew up in Fairfield. I'm Tiffany. Welcome, America, to my life."
And Rachel's like, "Oh, your husband is Dante?" She goes, "Oh, you know Dante?" She goes, "Our husbands were on the same job together in Saddle River." They're like, "Oh my God, no way!" So they're like super close now.
We had no idea. When my husband got that job at Saddle River, we had absolutely no idea that there was a husband at that same job on Saddle River who was on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. What a coincidence.
So all the ladies grab seats and are, sitting around like, "How do you know her? How do you know her? I know Joe. I know Joe. I know my father. No, my brother. No, your friend. No, it's my cousin twice removed, Joe." Which Joe? Which Joe's connecting us?
Okay, all right. Who here is on their first husband? Okay, all right. Okay, because that was for you, Joan. That was for you. I mean, how do you really get to know? That's how you get to really know someone. Okay, how many husbands have you had, Tiffany, new girl? Okay, what's going on? So Melissa's like, "Oh my God, who asked that kind of fucking question? That's outrageous." Okay, well, you know what? I was always the second wife. The first time I got married, I was the second wife. And I'm still the second wife on my second marriage. Another one for you, Joe. A lot of second humor. That's for you, Joan.
And
We should have a second party.
get out of here, Teresa. You're not in the scene, you goddamn idiot. So Tiffany's
That
like,
way we could be 2468. Oh, who do we appreciate? Louie.
At an 01, you've got a Les Mis song. 24601. So Tiffany's like, my husband, I'm the second wife. I'm the upgrade in that one. And then he's like,
See, we need food at Jim Fezzo's party. We did not have food like we got here, all right? That's why the alcohol got the best of us at that party, right? That party was nuts, am I right?
fucking second wife. I'm fucking talking to her. It's like, what? Way to take away the second wife gravitas, Danielle.
Yeah, way to pivot it into food. Okay, we're hearing about this woman just said that she was about to launch into her spiel. Like, "My name's Tiffany. I have a husband who works in Saddle River, and I'm the second wife, and I'm the upgrade. Because let me tell you what, this food is wonderful. Let's talk about the food. Is there a focaccia alligator anywhere nearby?"
Come on. We're trying to get to know Tiffany over here. Oh.
So they're just joking about that, and Tiffany's asking about what happened at that party, and they're just joking about it was a bunch of fighting and everything. It was beautiful, minus a few knockdown, shakedown fights. Am I right?
Yeah. So then Teresa comes in and dramatic music is playing. And Louis literally walks in like sniffing, like,
Yeah. He has this smile on his face, like, "I'm totally at ease. I'm not nervous at all about any confrontations. Look at me. I am self-assured Louis right now."
and Jennifer Aiden's just like,
Hello, bingo. Ha. Bingo, baby.
Louis also, by the way, he has the smile of someone who thinks that the party with his father was just like a giant segment on this show. He's like, "Look at us getting our redemption arc. I'm sure all of America just saw the beautiful celebration we just had for my father." So he's sort of smiling like, "I'm a hero," not knowing that it never made it to air.
yeah. So then, let's see. So John sees Joe Gorga. He's like, "Hey, your boys are over there." And Joe's like, "Hey, I don't have no boys. My boys are right here. What are you talking about? Get over it." Because John's just trying to start shit. I mean, I can't overstate how much John is just ready to have his his second Real Housewives fight. Which fight is this? He's just so excited to be a Real Housewife. This whole episode, John Fuda is just like, "I ain't gonna fight. I'm gonna fight. I ain't gonna fight. Ah, look who's here. Why don't you go say hi to your friends? Huh? John, calm down, John."
So no one goes up to say hi to Teresa except for Jen Fessler, who's like, oh my God, Teresa, my sister is obsessed with you. I think she is now your 1.3.2 millionth follower on Instagram. I'm not looking at your stats. I'm just saying she loves you and she doesn't love anyone, which means that therefore you should love me back.
And then we see a clip of her talking to the sister at some party. And Teresa's like, oh, yeah, sister. I wish I had a sister. Sisters are the best. I wish I had anything like a sister. I never had nothing like a sister.
So then now Jen goes up to Margaret. And she's like, "Hi, Margaret. You look beautiful, bingo." And she's Margaret, like, you look great. This is really fun that we're being nice to each other now before we get into some vicious fight later on this season. Where's Bill? Where's he? Is he in the back room again? Is he hiding away from you?
He's in surgery still. He's gonna see if he can come here straight, you know? He should come hang out. He'd have a good time with his boys here. All right. Good. Why are we still talking? Why? Why are you still here?
This conversation's already expired. It's gone on 10 seconds too long, and it's only been 11 seconds.
So then, so this whole thing with, oh wait, we've got more. I'm sorry, I thought I was at the end of my notes. I was like, wait, I think there's another scene, but I just had to keep scrolling, guys. So Melissa stays seated during the hellos because everybody's like ignoring each other. So Melissa's like, okay, hi Teresa, hi Louie. Here's my face. Like, how y'all doing? Should I do it? Yeah, hi. I really care about you. Margaret's like, shh, stop that. We're very mature people at this party.
So Gorga goes up to Fuda. He's like, "Hey, there he is. How you doing? Are you good? You're good right now." He goes, "You know what? I'm good. I'm not engaging in this shit tonight, but I'm just gonna talk about it a lot. I'm gonna get everyone else engaged in it, but I'm good. He's like, "Yeah, nah, don't get engaged. Yeah, nah." So then Louis like, "Oh, I gotta drink more water. My body's so sore. You ever drink a lot of water? Hey, Jeff Fessler, you drink a lot of water?" He's like, "I drink coffee." "Oh yeah, okay, cool."
So Polly asked Nate, so when you had that surgery, how long were you out of action? And Nate's like, you know what? Maybe a week. Like, they drilled in, they did the surgery, and a day later, I was back at Starbucks. It was amazing.
So, you're trying to tell me that we're doing a 6-year non-cool number anniversary for the thing that took you a week to recover from. Okay, great. And I came down to the Jersey Shore for this instead of St. Martin.
It is kind of like that.
It's like, 6 years ago, could have changed the world.
He's like, it was nothing. They got it out. I was back to a latte in 5 minutes. It's amazing.
They show a picture of him being like, "Hey."
It's like holding up a coffee. Like, look, it's coffee. I just got it.
It's coffee.
I can get coffee again.
Hey, it worked out. So then Danielle, out of nowhere, Danielle's like,
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to support it. This here comes in honor of Nate's 1 week of duress. Here is a choir from DC.
We're like, "Oh, okay, sure." And then this poor choir, they come up to sing a song, and they're like, "You know what? They were like, guys, I know it's a pain in the ass to go up to the Jersey Shore, but the amount of exposure we as a choir are going to get, it's going to be unparalleled." And they open up their mouths to sing, and then it just like cuts to like royalty-free music playing right over them.
Yeah, and then everybody's like twerking on the dance floor. So what is happening at this party? So then Rachel's like, this moment is beautiful. It's what I envisioned times a million. And standing with my husband, who's so beautiful and he's so healthy. Oh no, that was Danielle, I think, saying this.
She's like, to bring everybody here and celebrate the goodness that is my life is so bougie. New York Fashion Week. Coming soon, everybody.
So now it's more party time. There's like some talk about going to smoke some weed with like a pan and everything like that. And
yeah, because Jen Fessler's gonna pull aside Teresa for the talk, and they're gonna get stoned as hell while they do it. So Teresa's like, all right. Maybe I'll talk more if I got that pens. All right, you want to go over there? And she's like, whatever you want, baby. Where do you want to go? Let's go sit down, baby. Me, you, and a weed pen. What can go wrong?
Oh, I like this area. It's like Gabriella was here. No dog poop. Okay, come on. Let's take a seat. I want to ask you something. Because, like, okay, so my husband met with Frank Catania after New York, and he said to him that everyone that, like, had gone over to Margaret's house the night before the reunions and stuff, sis.
And she's like, yeah.
And why did Margaret have you guys over to your houses and stuff?
As if, like, that Teresa had probably, like, 5 people at her place, by the way. Let's be honest.
Yes.
And Jen's like, well, it was a get-together to say we're walking into this shit show. Like, when they come at us with this, we can come back with X, Y, Z. What happened to A, B, C, D, F, 9, 10, 12?
Why are you doing X?
Larsa Pippen's like,
Finally, someone says it, like XYZ and this and that, yeah.
so basically Jen says it was like Jackie, not Evan. She like, make sure we know Evan was not part of this. Jackie, not Evan. Margaret and Joe and Jeff and Melissa and Joe and Jeff and another Joe and Rachel and John and their friend Joe and then his cousin Joe. And then someone brought a cup of Joe. And actually the person who brought the cup of Joe was also named Joe. So they all were there.
Yeah, and Rachel and John, of course. They were prepping for Louis to have a lot of information because of that private investigator.
And that's the thing about Teresa that's so hilarious. She's like,
I can't believe people got together to prep for...
yeah, because your fucking husband hired a private investigator on everybody, Teresa.
Yeah.
You ass. Like, what do you think they were
He
doing?
hired Bo Dietl, okay? So of course everyone's gonna be like, you know what? She's gonna try to say this and she's gonna try to say that. Also because arguing with Teresa is the most frustrating thing. We've watched it for 13 years on these reunions. You cannot get through to her. So they're like, you know what? Let's try to anticipate what she says so she can't like wiggle out of it with her weird logic. It's like it's not a strange thing to happen. I don't think there's anything conspiratorial about this.
And I like that Jen is actually just saying exactly what happened. Because at first it's like, what is Jen doing? This is like betraying her friends and talking about but I'm glad she did it because she's just like,
Yeah, well, Margaret was about to pull out some evidence of a recording she had where Louis actually called her son's work and threatened everybody or whatever that was.
like she had the evidence, but it wasn't even used. So it's like showing this was a nothing burger. They never even used the stuff. And even if they had used the stuff, it's defending against what your husband was doing, you wackadoo.
Yeah, they didn't have to use it. So Teresa's like,
Yeah, but like New York, Nate and Danielle and Paulie in the back, they heard you say you guys didn't even execute the plan correctly.
and she's like, no, I never said that. I said they came in here with the manila envelopes. And I was like, you talked all this talk about manila envelopes, and you didn't even open them.
Yeah. So then Margaret is talking with Rachel now, and Rachel just looks all bitter. She sees Jen Fester, everything. She's just giving dirty looks and blinking very angrily, like she's been in line for 3 hours for this flight, and the flight is still not here. But she's like, oh, look at over there. Jen Fester is talking with Teresa. On the television show that she's on, that Teresa is the star of, you're going to have to get over this, Fudos. You're both making me crazy already. So Margaret's like,
Exactly.
yeah, but you know what? She's a little cockied up, and you never know what she's going to say. I'm a little worried about what she's saying.
Yeah. And so we go back to the discussion, and Jen Fester's like, well, at some point, I would love to sit down with you because Margaret, she doesn't want me to talk about it. But like, as someone who's been friends with Margaret for a long time, I think probably about 9 months now, I heard her hysterical. That day, she thought that Louis called her son. And she was like,
No, I swear to God. I swear to God on my 3 daughters.
I thought you had 4.
Oh yeah, Gabriella.
Oh, yeah, that girl who cleans up the dog pee, too. Yeah, her. My daughters. We did not do that.
And so the producer asked Jen, so do you believe Teresa, or do you think that Louis called Margaret's son? And she's like,
Oh, Teresa's swearing on a girl, so I really want to believe Teresa, because she is swearing on a girl. But it's going to make B sounds until you get the implication. Just tell me when you've got enough. And another thing I want to talk to you about, John Fuda, in his past, you called him the biggest drug dealer in Paramus? Yeah, it was a compliment.
I've never been able to break out of Patterson, so for him to get into Paramus, like, that's amazing.
That's a compliment. It's not an easy industry, all right?
And Jennifer, she's like, oh, did you say that, he's one now or when he was a kid?
Oh, not now. No, never nows.
She's like, oh, because that's what they thought you were all saying. She's like,
No. Well, he looks like an amazing father, a great husband, a great business guy, a guy who would give a friend a good deal on some tiles, just saying. So, like, that's what it looks like to me now. I'm not judging him. I'm just saying that, like, as a child, he was just like a big drug dealer.
Yeah, like right now he looks like a really good dad who could take it up the ass 2 ways. You know what I mean? That's all I mean. I ain't judging him.
Oh, okay, Teresa.
no.
Then Jen Fessler is like, oh, well, they thought you meant that now. They didn't know that you meant in the past. No! So then Jen's like, well, Teresa's a good person, Pause for laughter. Seriously.
I'm like, really? I think, okay. You can't stop staring at Teresa because you never know what's coming out. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make you a good person. It just makes you chaotic. She's like, yeah, but I enjoy her. Yeah. So she's like, maybe that makes me disloyal, but I can't help it. I do. I like her. I'm sorry. I'm guilty in the first degree of liking Teresa Giudice.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah, well, listen, I always liked it in you.
she's like, well, I'm glad we cleared that up, Teresa. She's like,
No, it's good, but, like, I just wanted to know what you meant by all those statements, but I was like really like Jen Fessler,
And she goes, oh, we're good. Believe me, we're good, Teresa. And Jen just always has this devious smile squint about her. She's just always kind of squinting her eyes really intently at people. I find her very enjoyable, but I think that after watching this, everybody's probably thinking Margaret should watch the fuck out for Jen Fessler. Or Jen Fessler should watch the fuck out because of Margaret, because now she's betraying that side, and now that side's going to try and get revenge on her. I would be a little more worried about Jen Fessler because
she was like a talent manager, wasn't she? Of course I'd be worried about her.
She looks, that glint and squint in her eye is terrifying. So I can't wait to see what she's got up her sleeve, especially since they didn't make her full time. So she's going to be fighting for that slot. So I really hope she turns evil.
Well, we're going to see her walk away from this party, and she's going to stop limping and walk perfectly, and she's going to pull out her guitar and be like, "On the stairway to heaven," playing it perfectly. It was all a ruse. So now we go back to the fire pit, and John Fuda is now sitting with Tiffany, of all people, and he's like, "I have a question." She's like, "Oh, me? To me? Oh, sure. I guess. Okay, cool. Didn't realize people were talking to me yet. Okay, cool." And she's like, "So if somebody asked your husband of doing something defamatory to his name based on an ex, would you be upset? You have children, right?" She goes, I'm not following, but I feel like the only answer you want from me is to say yes. So yes, I would be upset.
And he's like, "You guys got a reputation to carry, am I right?" John, oh, mister, I don't want to talk about it. You're really going to go to the new cast member, John? God.
Yeah.
You need some chill, John. You're looking a little thirsty, buddy. So Tiffany's like, "I would defend my husband until the end." And John's like, "Yeah, because otherwise it's like you're taking a convict's credit over mine. Am I right? You agree? Everybody agree? Not going to start anything today, but everybody agree that it's better to listen to a tile salesman than a convict, huh?"
And Rachel's like, "Oh, God." So then Rachel's just like staring at Jen Fessler, and she goes, "I feel remorseful right now because I thought I had someone who was like my ride or die for a very long time. And in this moment, I don't see that Jen Fessler feels like I don't see that Jen Fessler. I feel like I should have known better." I'm like, yeah, she's a friend of. She's gonna climb to the top, whatever she can do to be on the show. I mean, what part of that did you not understand?
Also, ma'am, you're new here. You don't get to be like, well, if you're going to shoot with Teresa, then you don't get to be my friend. Teresa is the lead of this show. You literally put the sprinkle cookies on the counter, ma'am, okay, and go sit down quietly. You guys literally just showed up, okay? I hate when people do this. I hate it when the regulars do it, like Teresa and Margaret. I mean, Melissa, it's going to be a rough season when you guys are going to just have every party be you sitting apart from you. That's rough enough without the newbies trying to do it too. This is Janet energy, and Janet energy is not working, ma'am.
Well, I find Janet energy to be very funny from the Valley. I didn't feel like the icing out really worked very well on Potomac because I think it was like nothing really made sense. Nothing added up. Why? Like there was just it was like that season was like a mess. Here, there's two sides, and that like is a clear like a feud for me, and in a way that makes sense with my brain. So like I'm okay with it right now. I'm okay that there's a Melissa side and a Teresa side. There's this family rift, and it's gotten now it like they tried to keep it together, and now it's exploded out to this thing where we have two sides of the cast. I'm okay right now with it, as opposed to just like a big mess where like people are like trying to ice out people in a certain way that they're pretending like they're not, and it's like what's happening on this show this season. It's like incoherent, but here it like makes sense. If they're trying to ice people out, it makes sense because they're in this massive rift with the cast. I don't know, it's okay for me. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm okay with it so far right now.
Okay. Well, there you go. Everybody, thank you so much for being here for Real Housewives of New Jersey. We will be back later with other stuff below deck. You know what? There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay. It's just
And you know what? We're just gonna since this episode is already so long, we will push our summer house, Martha's Vineyard, onto below deck and talk about it on that episode.
Oh yeah, good call. Since I forgot. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, everybody. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.